First of all, thank you all very much for the support on my guide. I never in the world expected that many people to watch it and to be inspired from it. A lot of comments were talking about the meteorite staff, so I was just like, well, how about I just go get it? So the meteorite staff is apparently a staff with S scaling right off the bat, and it's really easy to get to in the early game. You don't even need to beat Margit the Fell, I think, which is the first real boss. So you basically just need to walk there, not die on the way there, which is exactly what we're gonna try to do. Get the staff, get one other sorcery that's right nearby, and then you're really decked out. It's kind of like the dragon sword in Dark Souls 1, considered to be like the best weapon for the early game. Now, I have read that the staff cannot be upgraded, so at some point it's probably falling behind other late game staff. Apparently the staff is at this little marker all the way over here. It is pretty remote from, well, just about everything. I'm going to start from the Summon Water Village because it's in my guide. I'm sure everybody who's watched my guide will be at least able to start from there, and then we'll make our way by ourselves. And we'll not really fight anything because this is like a later area in the game for sure. But yeah, let us try and get going. So I am going to do a little bit of post commentary here because that was taken from my stream. Actually, if you don't want to miss any of my stream, just subscribe right now. It helps the channel and it lets me know you guys enjoy the videos. Basically, to get to the meteorite staff, which is the S graded staff, you need to go deep into the Kalid swamp. Now the swamp is not that really hard, but the way there is filled with really tough enemies. So I suggest you don't really fight anything on the way. Thankfully, it's almost like the developers wanted you to find this stuff pretty early on, and they've put like an actual ton, and I mean a ton, of sites of grace across the land. Now, you're gonna see me die here. It wasn't expected, but you can resurrect yourself at a Stake of America. This is going to basically get you down there, push you forward a little bit to your goal, and you can skip the big birds, which are probably the only tough enemy on the way. And you're gonna find between here and there are going to be 2 sites of grace. That's, like I said, the developers basically wanted you to find this thing. So I'm just gonna fast forward here. You can use the waypoint I want. There's like a merchant and another site of grace, and that's pretty much it. When we get to the swamp, you're gonna see me run around a little bit. That's because I kind of wanted to explore the swamp and I don't really know where the thing actually is. I just read comments telling me it was in this swamp. But if you really want to find it as quickly as possible and you're really not liking the swamp, it is to your left. If you hug the left wall, you're gonna find the place very easily once you're in the swamp. And then you can just follow the route I'll take from there to get the Rock Sling sorcery, which is a gravity sorcery that's enchanted by the staff. So enjoy me walking around the swamp, and yeah. Oh, maybe in there. Yeah, that looks like the place. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be here. And we now have... Ah! I'm gonna take a look at the stuff afterwards. I'm just gonna go get another thing because I saw there was something in here. Alright, now you can go down here, and if you unlock this door, you will find a chest, and in this chest is another sorcery, which is kind of like a dark sorcery. Let us see what we got, because everybody was recommending those 2 things. So this staff has a B tier skilling in intelligence, which is pretty good. It's not bad by any means, but this one has an S. A freaking S scaling in intelligence. You will notice the passive effect, boost gravity sorceries. So let's take a look at the staff. The staff in itself is pretty cool. You know, it doesn't change the look of your spells or anything. What is interesting is that the other spell that we picked up along the way, we will go to memorize the new spells. This one, Rock Sling. Summon rock from the earth and send it flying. So it requires 18 FP, so it's kind of a costly spell, right? But let's look at how it looks like. My god, okay, that is pretty cool. Can we charge it? No, we can't really charge it. It takes a lot of FP, but it is super dope. So afterwards, I actually went and did some testing, comparing the two staffs and comparing Rock Sling to Glintstone Pebble. At the bottom line, the Meteorite staff is just straight up better. It cannot be upgraded, but in the early game, that's all you need. On the matter of Glintstone Pebble and Rock Slide, I feel like Rock Slide has a much bigger range, takes a lot longer to wind up, and it does about the same damage if 2 of the 3 rocks hit. If 3 of the rocks hit, obviously it's gonna deal more damage, but it takes a lot of time. So I would actually recommend not using it too much. Use it maybe as the opener of the fight because of its range, and then switch to Glintstone Pebble because of its speed, and it's just much better overall. Finally, look, I've been getting this question a lot more than I thought I would, so I'm just gonna explain a little bit my stat distribution, because it seems to be a problem for most of you out there. So, the way I usually play is I'm gonna up intelligence, or my main stat, so if you're playing a mage, obviously it's going to be intelligence, to around 40. 40 is where the soft cap is most of the time, so let's say I'm gonna go to 30 right now. Now, afterwards, vigor of mind and endurance are all up to your liking. If you feel like you're going out of stamina a lot, go endurance. If you feel like you don't have enough FP or mana, so to say, go mind. If you think like you're taking too many damage per hit and you want to live longer, take vigor. For my part, right now I'm probably gonna up vigor a little bit because I am quite squishy, and then I'm gonna probably get mind to 20. Just so to say. Now, a lot of you have asked me between strength and dexterity what's more important. Honestly, for me, and that once again is a personal opinion, I'm only gonna get strength and dexterity to meet a weapon requirement. So let's say that, real quick, I have a weapon I want to equip. So you'll notice that if I wanted to equip this mounter for some reason, I would need 19 strength and 16 dex, which I obviously do not have. Now, thankfully, with the Ashes of War and all the armament and whatnot, it is very possible to give most of these weapons magic damage or intelligence scaling. That's what I would recommend, because most of the time if you give them intelligence scaling, that's going to be your most damage, but you cannot wield these weapons if you don't have the proper stats, right? So if I wanted to have the Warhawk Talon, I would need 10 strength and 16 dex. So for my part, I'm not gonna touch those 2 stats until I get to that point where I find a weapon I really like. It hasn't happened so far. I'm hoping there's a Moonlight Greatsword in the game. I don't know yet if there is. If I find it, I'm probably gonna equip it. And that's about that for this guide. Yeah. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying these guides. It lets me know I'm doing a good job and that you are enjoying the content. There is much more to come because Elden Ring is a massive game and I kind of just want to cover everything about it. So please stay tuned and I'll see you guys for some more Elden Ring next time.